Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state. Hey, welcome back. One more episode of Innovation Unplugged, a production of the Innovation Center, a division of the Community College System in Alabama. I'm Houston Blackwood, Workforce Director. Today's a very fun show. We've got some special guests from Huntsville City Schools I can't really tell where everybody's sitting in direction, but we got Callie Copeland, a Huntsville City student, and Jack Cox, another Huntsville City School student, and Miss Carolyn Wade, career tech extraordinaire, working with these students and getting them in front of our courses. And with me in studio is Brandy Merrill, Director of Curriculum Design. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Doing pretty good.
Excited.
Yeah.
Excited, yeah.
Great.
So the background on this story is I'm scrolling down, and I shouldn't tell this, 90 miles an hour on the interstate, and I see Dr. Hodges pop up on LinkedIn, Calhoun's president, and he's got this video of these three great students, and they're like talking about their training. Yeah. And then you guys, it's like, I got a job at Rogers Group. I took this training, and I got a job when I graduate. And I about floored it, and I was floored inside in my head. I'm like, okay, this is amazing. So I immediately get on the phone. I'm like, okay, we got to talk to these cats and see what this is all about. For a lot of reasons. A, Calhoun's near and dear to my heart. I work there. And B, we want our students to get offers. We want them to have a chance in these courses that they take if they're interested. So hearing all that happen, I was like, this is it. Mm-hmm. This is why we do what we do. And so we accelerated. You guys were accessible, and we're just so happy to be here. So welcome, and thanks for taking the time to be here.
Thank you.
Hey, before y'all answer those questions and all the cool stuff about the course and how you got there and all the Rogers Group and work and all that stuff, how many people did you tell you were on a podcast with this morning, and what were their responses? Because I know from our side, anytime we say we're going to do a podcast, and I know being in high school, that would have been a kind of a cool and weird kind of thing. So what were your friends' responses when y'all got an invite for a podcast?
Told a couple people. I think I'm the one who told Kylie too, that it feels kind of over the top a little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It doesn't seem like that big of a thing, but it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of people agree, but we're not lucky to be here or anything. We're recognized.
We worked our way to get here. It's not luck. We put in hard work over these years to do this, and it's a surreal feeling because when you start this program, you don't think this will happen. It's kind of like a rare opportunity, and then you actually get to it, and you're like, wow. I'm being recognized for all the hard work that I did that I was doubted for and told I would never be able to do.
Absolutely. Now, what courses did you go through?
Me and Jack both had welding technology.
Okay.
And then the Calhoun did the heavy machinery with us for bulldozer, asphalt roller, excavator, and skid steer.
You did all four. You did the academy.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you went through all 4 online courses and went through all 4 labs. And so now you are a beginning expert in all of those. Which was your favorite, Callie? Which was one of your favorite pieces of equipment?
Excavator.
Really? That's
Yes.
impressive. Why?
Yeah. Tell me why.
I don't know. I just like that you were constantly moving and constantly doing something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're not just sitting in a seat going forward, moving dirt. You're having to be precise with it, and you got multiple things to focus on. I like being kept busy, so that's why I liked it, because I was constantly having to do something, and I wasn't just sitting there.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. You like the precision and the focus that required.
Jack, did you like the bulldozer? Is that your favorite?
Bulldozer was my favorite.
I knew it.
That's
I
hilarious.
knew it.
Why? Why, Jack? Why was it your favorite? That's funny.
Well, I missed skid steer and excavator for scheduling reasons.
Yeah.
So the only thing I did were bulldozer and asphalt roller.
Okay.
And I think the main reason I liked it is because of how they pushed us into it. We were given a lot of responsibility, more responsibility than most people would trust to high schoolers.
Sure.
And we were put on the machines, and we were told to go for it with the things we learned. And the bulldozer is a dangerous thing. You know, a lot can go wrong, but they trusted us, and I pushed some dirt, and it was awesome.
What is that? Is it the Avengers? That's like, no, it's not the Avengers. With the something comes a lot of power and responsibility.
That was Big Bang Theory.
Wait, say what was it?
That's Spider-Man.
With power comes responsibility.
Yes, with great power comes great responsibility. So you felt that when you sat in the bulldozer, like with it is. It's a powerful piece of equipment.
Miss Wade, did you get on any of the equipment?
No, they wouldn't let us do it because we didn't do the online course before.
I love hearing that.
We just got to.
I love the
know.
standard.
Well, that's what I said. They need to do a course this summer for educators.
Well, they do. And we've done that a couple years in the past. Food and beverage one year, land survey last year. We'll pitch that to Doug, the team up at Calhoun.
Yeah.
So this is incredible. And I love hearing those two scenarios. And I'm sure that Rogers Group walked in, and I don't know who you talked to, but they probably took a look at y'all and had two conversations, one each, and like, this kid needs to come work for us, especially with that weld tech background. And we're actually working on a heavy equipment mechanic assistant or technician. Basically, you're not a heavy equipment certified mechanic, but you can work on on the heavy equipment side. Not a diesel mechanic, it's all the other stuff, but that weld tech, and that stuff breaks constantly. So especially as it gets older. Miss Wade, I'm going to kick one question off to you. You've known these students for a while, right? Not just this school year. So you're invested in them. Through this course, what kind of growth did you see in them from their weld tech and morphing into the Skills for Success courses? What was that growth like in these two?
With both of them, through welding and then especially through heavy equipment, the biggest growth that I've seen is their confidence. Watching them on the heavy equipment, I mean, walking out to the heavy equipment, getting into it like a boss. I mean, Kylie, she just took off. I mean, she was like, I got this. They would say, hey, do we have a volunteer? Her and Abby both were, running past the guys, like, put me on there. And then with Jack doing the second one, I would just say confidence. He just blossomed. I mean, just in the last 3 weeks, I would say that you just, blossomed. He has gotten confidence. He now knows his path afterwards, and I'll let him tell what he was planning on doing before this course and Rogers Group. But just giving them the skills to have that confidence, to know that they can go into the workforce, making a great wage, that they can support themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love hearing that confidence and blossom, especially I work with most of the team are women, and I've got a son that's 15, but I don't have a daughter. I'm not raising a daughter in this world, but this is a man's world, quote unquote, construction, and the rough men doing rough jobs, but hearing that young female students are having the ability to gain confidence in this industry, because this is one of those things, you're not going to drive equipment forever. Kylie, Jack, y'all are going to be doing this for a little bit, and then you can move into other things that are more cerebral, or who knows what you're going to do. But I love hearing that confidence in the student. Through that's
the
beautiful
process with Rogers Group. This is like a workforce development cohort. They've got 3 Huntsville City School students, but then they've got 2 from Albertville, I believe.
Yeah.
They really want to hone in on and teach them the leadership skills. So your plan for all 3 of them is to move up quickly into leadership, because they saw that they had the potential to be able to do that.
And we all took different routes in the company too.
Yeah.
So if somebody came along and said, hey, exposure to this is really great in the high school, but, you mentioned a minute ago, there's a lot of responsibility when you get, into those operator seats. What kind of response? And so basically looking at you two who just went through the course, if somebody said, hey, really high school is a little too young, if there's naysayers, what would your response be to them? Because, we're looking at you and we're hearing from you that, hey, look, I've got the confidence. Now I have a job. Now I'm on a path. What would your response be to any naysayer out there that's like, y'all, that's a little bit too much to get in the high school? Like, what would you say?
The only difference between me and anyone older, and Kylie and anyone older, is that, we just have our skill in education. There's no difference. We're developed. We're making these skills. We've done welding for multiple years, and a lot of people can't say that. We've taken this opportunity, unlike other high schoolers, to take this course and to take other courses and to push into this future. And I think I'd tell the person that, you know, if they can tell me that they would have done this when they were in high school, then maybe they wouldn't think that.
Sure.
I would
Well,
also,
go ahead. No,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
Callie. No.
I would also say that I don't think it really matters like how tall or big you are, how skinny you are, if you're a female or a male, if you're willing to do the work and you go in every day, show up and put in more than 100% of your effort, it shouldn't matter what you look like or how old you are. If you're willing to do the work and you are capable of doing the work, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So we do catch, not flack, but like people say, well, 2 days is not enough time for them to be an equipment operator on a company site. And true, like you guys aren't going to be the one putting the finished grade on a road. No questions asked there. But what you are going to do, you're going to be given some responsibility with some machine, maybe a shovel for some weeks, but then a machine at some point, and you're going to own that job, and it's going to be perfect. You're going to meet the criteria. You're going to get all the outcomes just right, show up on time, you know, do all the soft skill things, but you're going to do that job well. And over a very short amount of time, I can tell with you two, y'all are going to knock that out of the park and then move on. So, and that's what we try to sell to the students is, hey, this is an entry. And if you own it, like you said, Callie, own it and do a good job every day and show up, you'll master it and be the master of that little world. And before long, your world becomes a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we hope for anything. And I think for any profession, that's what you want to do. You want to come in, start small, own it, get bigger, more influence. But you guys, I'm super impressed with your outlook on this so far. What was it like when Miss Wade mentioned, hey, we've got this heavy equipment course. Y'all want to take it or not?
Because you just mentioned, Miss Wade, that there was a different trajectory for Jack at one
Yeah.
point, and now there's a new one. So if y'all will go back to that little nugget of goodness, I want to hear that story.
So before even before I started taking welding, and during that, I wanted to study biology and I wanted to study astronomy. I wanted to mix that together, and I wanted to be an astrobiologist.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
Very
So very
kind of niche
different
field. Yeah.
pathway now.
I
Yeah.
wanted to internet. Wanted to do anything space related.
Okay.
basically. A whole different thing. It's a different ballpark. It's the progress you make in that field it's like theoretical.
Yeah.
Compared to this one, it's real physical progress.
Yeah.
And it's entirely different. I think when I got to the point where I could take this course, I thought, wow, this is something I've wanted to try for a long time because I had never gotten to be hands-on with the thing I wanted to do.
Okay.
It's, such a niche field. But to get the opportunity to try something different, to people that, want me to be there, that need someone to be there.
Yeah.
I could have filled that, and that opportunity was, I think, it was just awesome to get, and
Yeah.
I took it, and here I am in stride.
Yeah. Astrobiologist. I have a biology degree. I was a teacher, and it was very hands-on. But astrobiology, I don't know what even that entails. I'm not that smart. But like I guess I don't know. Like I'd love for you to explain that to me sometime. But now you're taking that and you're still going to do the biology. ADEM and all kinds of environmental groups move Earth and they change rivers, their flow of rivers and repair mountainsides. And the Army was the Corps of Engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Most of what they do, they fix things, but it's there's some ecology to it. So you still get to play in that world if that's what interests you. And that's really cool. What about you, Kylie? Ms. Wade said, hey, let's run some heavy equipment. And you said,
I was very excited
yeah.
because I hate school.
I love that honesty.
School and sitting in a desk is not for me because
Yeah.
I got to be doing something 24/7. And when I heard that we were doing that, I was like, that's just more experience I'm going to gain and more knowledge and something else that I'm not doing right now, which opens my doors and broadens my trajectory on everything else that I could learn and use in my life.
Yeah.
Not only get a better pay, but to just be more knowledgeable, to have these skills and know.
Well, that's a good point. So we have an electrical helper course, and in that course, they wire up a small house looking thing, a wall, and you have to pull the wire through that wall, which is a small comparison of what it's actually like in a real house or real structure. But pulling that wire through is a skill, because it's not hard, but it's not like the simplest thing to do. So
I don't know how.
yeah, but so when you do that, like, it's an appreciation of, okay, well, I know what it takes to get from that switch to that plug now. Like, I get it. And so you just have this awareness that other people don't. And so now you understand what it takes to really get that bucket in that excavator, to get that bucket turned just right, to get that flat bottom trench to pull it back. Because I'm sure that Derek and Darren were your instructors.
Yes.
And, you know, I love those two guys. They're the most lovable, scariest looking men I know, because they're big, burly men. But to get that bucket just right, to crawl through that trench and to get that super flat bottom and clean walls, like, man, to know how to do that will apply to so many other things. You won't even realize it until later in life. You're like, oh, well, that's just like that thing. So that's really cool. That's really good feedback.
Have your friends and family been like, hey, if you know how to do this, can you come to the backyard?
The machining teacher has actually asked, because he's trying to put in a driveway and he's going to have to build a trench to put some water lines in. So yeah, he's even asked us to do it.
I had my uncle repair his trailer.
Yeah.
We've had the same thing. I mean, you know, as we built them, we would go out on site, and, you know, whether it was filming for it or whether it was at the labs or whatever it was. And then obviously we would get to, so Miss Wade, cover your ears. So we would get to operate the equipment, right? And we'll make that opportunity available. You know, and so you pick up on those skills, probably not nearly as well as you two have, because y'all now are employed with it. But in either case, I think it obviously creates an opportunity for other people to be like, oh, you know how to do that? Can you come do it over here? You know, because that happened inside of my family as well. And then not only that, self-serving, I looked in the backyard and was like, oh, I could go do that. You know, so that's fun. That's fun.
What was the, Miss Wade, what was the most unexpected or the best surprise about putting your students through this course?
I mean, 3 of them landing a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. You know, we happened to call a couple of different companies around for them to come out and see them back in the fall when they were on skid steer and excavator. And so Rogers Group came out. Mr. Hall with Rogers Group came out and talked to him.
Yeah.
Yes. And so afterwards he was like, hey, I'll interview whoever. And I was like, oh, and he was like, we'll come to the school. We'll interview them on site at school, whoever, prep them, get them ready, have their resumes, and then we'll kind of narrow it down from there. And these 3 made it to the second round where they brought management in, and we did it again here at school. And I didn't ever think that they would walk out of, I mean, I expected all 3 of them to have a job as they walk out with all of their talent. But I mean, they landed this job in February.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even before they did the second course. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is just like, I mean, their talents shine bright when they were out there in the fall, and then through their interview skills and their resumes and just how talented they are, that landed them, and they're making between $23 and $25 an hour.
Dang, y'all.
That's incredible.
Wow. Okay, so what is the job? So
Yeah.
so you did this thing, and now I'm sure everybody, all your friends and stuff, are like, what the heck? How'd you do that? So what are you doing? Gosh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So I got the job in industrial maintenance because I did want to stick with some welding.
Yeah.
But I'm also learning hydraulics, electrical, all of these things that go towards maintenance. So I could build my way up and potentially go anywhere or travel with the company.
Yep.
Doing that job.
I hear you. Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got hired to be a groundman at Rogers Group. Basically, I told them I wanted to be able to do everything. I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to be a jack of all trades.
Yep.
And that's the opportunity I was given. If someone needs something, I'll be there. If having machinery operators out, I'll be there. And I'll just learn everything. Every single path is open, every tree, and I can, climb along whichever branch I want.
God, that's great.
That's powerful. I know Joseph Hall pretty well. We've been working together for about 7 years now. So I know inside his HR heart did a little clap, when he hears an answer like that, or hears a young person say, "I want to learn more." So what was it like when you were through all this and you were going through these steps? And by the way, kudos on impressing these people enough for a second interview.
Yeah.
Because I know those guys and they're intimidating. Because they're
And they threw management away. I
Yeah.
mean, after they came out and I went to go talk to him, I had to escort him out of the building. I mean, they just were like, oh my, they are so impressive.
Yeah.
They have a lot of talent and we can see them going far with Rogers Group.
Me too. So what was it like, Jack? We'll start with you. When they said, "Hey, cool, good job, we want to hire you," what was that feeling like? And who was your first call?
My first call, I was still at school, so
Oh,
You can't
Yeah.
use your phone, huh?
yeah, I guess it was Kylie, honestly, because
Yeah.
I went back to the welding room. Kylie had done the interview before me,
Yeah.
and I landed the job. And so I went in there cheering. Kylie was there. I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Callie, what about you?
Uh,
Oh, Jack, go ahead, finish.
Okay. Me and Kylie walked the people back, to leave the school, and then we walked back and we were talking, and the class had just ended. Everyone was walking through the halls, and Kylie and I were walking back to the welding room to grab our stuff. We were talking about how we may have just paved the way for our futures,
You did
and
with a
none
paving
of these
company.
yeah.
none of these people around us know, and we may be ahead of all of them. It's
You are.
crazy.
You are, because you're going to go to work, and what's going to happen is, Callie, we're going to get to you in just a minute, but you've got a job with no cost to the training to get there, right? And now they're going to invest in you, and I know Rogers Group is that type of company. If you say, "Hey, I want all these certificates or a degree from Calhoun or whatever, or I want to go and do these things for the business side of it," whatever it is, they're going to pay for it, and so you're going to end up with a 2-year or 4-year degree on their dime. And so, and you're going to be doing that at 21, 22. And I know, Miss Wade has a teaching degree and probably an advanced degree. And I know what time and cost those took. So it's like, good gravy, kids.
Well, and $25 an hour is $50,000 a year.
Yeah. At
I
18
mean,
years old.
Y'all, like
So-
that's massive. And so, how old are you again, Jack, Kylie?
I'm 18.
I'm actually 17.
So 17 and 18 years old with $23 to $25 an hour, and I'm just gonna go high. That is $50,000 a year if you work full time.
Y'all are going to retire
At 17 and
millionaires.
18, yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Lord,
So,
Be smart with your money.
yeah,
Yeah.
be smart with the money. Kylie,
Yeah.
what was it like for you when they said, "Hey, we're going to hire you"? What was your first thought?
I was kind of like, I was in disbelief, honestly. I really didn't know what to say. I just kept saying, "Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it for this opportunity." It didn't really comprehend until like the next day.
Yeah.
And I called my mom and I was just like screaming on the phone in the hallway. I'm like, "I got the job. I got
Yeah.
the job."
That's awesome.
so
And I mean,
so 17 in 5 years, you'll be 22. You would have
Yes,
made
ma'am.
almost $250,000 by the time you're
Mhm.
22. Like I can't get past the numbers. Like the amount of time you would have in the workforce to earn money and do that at such a young age. Gosh, kudos, y'all. That is truly
And to
impressive.
have zero debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Blows me away.
like that's the biggest thing. Yes.
Wow.
Right. And potentially if they move up, I mean, like they're putting them on the path to be able to do.
Yeah.
In 2 to 3 years, they could be making $90,000 to $100,000.
Yeah.
If they move up into the leadership roles.
Yeah.
That is just such a wow moment.
So that's the
Abby's
story.
here.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want her to jump in? I
Love
can
to.
jump out and she can jump in.
Yeah. Yeah. One more question for you, Miss Wade.
Oh, yes.
I've got it. Hang on. So for all of your Huntsville City School students, and that's a diverse group, I know.
Mhm.
Why is stuff like this important? Why are programs like Skills for Success and other things that the colleges offer? Why is this so important for your students?
Like Kylie said, she's not a big fan of school. College isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
A 4-year degree isn't for everyone. So programs like this, giving them skills that they can go straight into the workforce. And Huntsville is booming.
Booming.
And there are jobs and there's a lack in the skills workforce. And so students that like to work with their hands, that want to not sit at a desk, like Kylie said. I think this is the perfect opportunity, and it's free. It gives them a boost in confidence, and gives them a very well-paying job.
$50,000 a year at 17 years old.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I mean, and no college debt. And so
Yeah.
I feel like this is just a great opportunity for them. And, you know, we do food and beverage, we do IPC 620. I mean, like, we have a lot of different programs, and we work with a lot of different companies in our different programs to get our students hired. But the three of them, just like Kylie said, have put in the hard work before even this course. I mean, Kylie has 4 welding certs. They have OSHA 30. So, I mean, to an employer, they look fantastic. And then they back it up when they get in front of them with an interview.
Okay. One more question before you jump out to that point.
Okay.
So knowing that we all are older than 17 and 18, so you've seen it. We've lived through this shift, right? And the shift I'm referring to is, you know, back when we were 17 and 18, it was you have to go. They're the only path to go is to go to a 4-year because that is the only way to make money. It's the only way to be successful. Well, now it seems we're beginning to see a shift back towards, hey, you know, when you talk about debt and you talk about, and that's not to say that it doesn't have its place. I don't mean debt, I mean 4-year. Not to say that continuing education, that 4-year education doesn't have a place, but I think in our lifetimes, we've seen a shift beginning back towards, hey, practical. You know, you've got to have a skill set. And if you have a skill set, you'll get hired. And when you get hired, you make $25 an hour at 17 years old. And then the next thing you know, the trajectory of your life has changed. Do you see, when did that happen? Like, I can't point to a time when that began. So, Ms. White, do you know, I mean, like, being there with those students, do you remember, like, when did this shift start?
So I started as a career coach 8 years ago. And so that's kind of when we started seeing the pendulum shifting and the lack of students that had the skills that wanted to go into the workforce. So I would say 9 to 10 years ago is kind of when it started. And now I think we're at that gap in our skills workforce. So now it is very eye-opening to our communities, to our workforce, and then also our parents. Our parents are finally, I mean, I would say last year was probably the big eye-opener for parents. And it's okay for my child not to go to a 4-year college because just like you said, I mean, you weren't, I don't want to say you weren't anybody, but it was expected of you to go to college.
Yeah.
And,
but it wasn't in our grandparents' age. It wasn't our parents' age. Like that's the pendulum shift that you're meaning. It's almost like this generational thing.
Yep. And so now it's shifting back to skilled, and skilled trades are okay. They give you a high wage. They are in the high demand workforce. So I think it's definitely shifted back, and we are here, and the kids are excited because now it's okay for them to say, I want to do something hands-on. I want to go straight into the workforce. Yeah. It's not a dead end. It doesn't mean that if Jack doesn't want to go back to school and get a biology degree, that he can't do that later on. He's going to have money in his pocket and not come out with so much debt.
Absolutely.
Everybody's retiring now. Everyone is retiring, and it's like in a need now. So anybody who's willing to take that opportunity, it's like you're almost automatically get the job.
You're right, and that's across every industry that we deal with, every trade. Right. They're all the ones working are gray haired, and they're panicking because there's no one there behind them. So, and we're hoping to fix that.
And they want people.
As a career coach, I mean, we appreciate y'all and the opportunity that y'all give our students through our career tech courses, outside of our career tech courses, that give them that skill for free, that they're not having to leave high school just wondering what they're going to do. They now have a skill. They can take that skill and apply it and start looking for a job that more than likely they'll be hired.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we're making that big push across the state for employment.
Yes.
Let's get Abby on. I want to hear what she has to say. one of the questions we asked them earlier was what it was like getting into this program and seeing what it was all about, and how that changed your thought about your career choices or the next few months of your life.
Y'all mentioned a couple minutes ago about how there was a transition from having to go to college to be able to get money to actually going into trade and working straight out of high school. And that's what I thought I had to do. That's what I was always told. I had to be somebody that went to college for 4 to 6 years. And I am not a very sit at a desk. I'm like Kylie, I hate sit. Hate it. And when I got the opportunity as a course to go weld, and I thought, okay, let's see how this goes. And I actually fell in love with welding, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then we went to the heavy machinery, and I'm like, okay, this is what I was made for.
I love that. This is what I was made for. That is incredible. Okay, so but tell us why. So Kylie talked about the precision and the focus required for the excavator.
And she loved that.
And Jack talked about the power and the danger and the control of the dozer. So what was it for you that you realized once you were in those seats? What was it for you that you realized, yeah, this is why it's made for me?
I like probably the dozer and the excavator more. Dozer because it's bigger, and I like driving things that are bigger. And the excavator because you have to have your mind on so many different things at so many different times that your mind is just going, but you're so relaxed. There wasn't any time that I was in the machine that I was scared, nervous, anxious. It was like my body completely chilled out. I was in control of everything from the moment that I got in it, from the moment that I got out.
You know, we were talking earlier about how your age group oftentimes, you know, somebody may be a naysayer and be like, gosh, they're just too young to do that. You don't feel like you were too young to do that. You just said you were made for this, right? So what would your response be to somebody that's like, gosh, you can't put her behind, you know, or in an operator seat like that? She's too young. What's your response?
So that was kind of a funny conversation because I had that conversation with a couple of my family members when they said, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is dangerous. This is for grown-ups and everything else. And that was what kind of stuck with me. I'm like, okay, what's the difference between me and a grown-up? Kind of where Jack was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
And how I look at it is we're younger. Our brain hasn't fully developed until we're around 25 to 30. Which means we have more things to learn, and it's easier for us to pick it up because we're younger. And with an adult, you have more that you've learned, more that you got to think of, and everything else. When we're getting into it, it just becomes another habit that we get down instead of having to, okay, now I have to learn this, and now I have to learn this, and now I have to learn this. With my mom, I pretty much told her, I was like, there's not a difference. I'm 18. This is a career that can set me for life when I don't have to go to college, and you don't have to be in debt for when I do go to college.
Yeah.
This is better for everybody.
So that was your pitch. I love it. You want to
pitch.
do that for every parent out there? Tell them why. Tell every parent listening to this why this was a good choice and why this would be the best choice for any parent because of.
You don't have to be in debt for your kids' student loans.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's an incredible, and so many kids do. I'm so impressed that you three have that awareness of that, of what this, and all these trades too. Like even if you stuck straight with welding, same thing would happen. You'd get a job. Somebody would pay for all your schooling, because they're needed. Kylie, Abby, what is the job you're going to have at Rogers Group?
I'm a heavy machinery operator.
Okay, so you're going straight to the machine. That's really cool. Do you know which one you're going to have, or are they just going to put you in a pool of different practices?
And all of them.
Okay, that's really cool. All right, so it's today is April 16th. I don't typically like to mark the date on a show, but it's April 16th, and so you guys graduate in less than a month, or right at a month, right? And so you're going straight to work. Okay,
full time.
Full time.
Full time.
That's crazy. Wow. So I just got so many questions about this because this has actually never happened for us. Like we've never had this opportunity to talk to three students who got jobs right out of high school with a company based on the courses that they've taken with us.
I know, and y'all, we were here from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like we start. Like I don't know if y'all know the story of the Innovation Center, but this only started in the concept wise around 2021, and then ish, and then first delivered, first lab in 22. I mean, it hasn't even been full on, 3 complete years yet. And so we were there from the beginning to watch this from kind of the beginning of an idea all the way up to, okay, well, we had this one course, a food and beverage course, and then we started building other courses. And now here you 3 sit as like an example of what the power of this can do, these courses can do, and what it has done for y'all. Like it's just such a fulfilling moment.
Mm-hmm. Good segue there.
Yeah.
So you've got classmates who may or not be going to work at Rogers Group, but you've got kids graduating. And these courses are available for open enrollment, so adults, which you all will be after graduation. What advice would you have for your peers or those lower classmen, underclassmen, or the ones you know, or your family members who say, no, Abby, you can't drive no dozer because you're not old enough. Like that's silly thought process. What would you tell your friends, your underclassmen about this kind of training?
I mean, the main thing is that you just have to go through with it. You have to, set yourself to it and stick with it. It's consistency.
Yeah.
It's like we said at the beginning of this, if you get to this point where we're at, we're not lucky at all. We are recognized, we did this and we worked for this.
Yeah.
And that can't be taken away in any sense.
That's so powerful.
It is.
Yeah. The main advice I'd give is to just remember that, you are the person controlling yourself. It's no one else. You choose your future and you just actually have to, push for it.
Yeah. Powerful words from a young man.
Absolutely.
Love that. Kylie?
I would say if you were wanting to do this and you want to start, don't compare yourself to other people that have been doing it longer than you, because I struggled with that and it kind of broke my confidence down to where I was struggling because I would always mess up. I'd always have to restart. And then I look at people that one of the students that had been in there a year longer for me, I was like, well, why can't I do that? Why can't I do this? Why can't my welds look like this? And I had to rein myself back in and tell myself, I just started. I'm still learning. Okay. And everyone's going to mess up, but that doesn't mean you can't make it in an industry like this.
That's right.
You don't compare yourself to people that have done it longer than you, because it will break you down and will cause you not to be able to do it because you won't have the confidence to. You have to have the confidence and let whatever everybody else is saying go in one ear and out the other, and just keep your horse blinders on to all that.
Love that.
Wise words. Beyond just what you're doing now, just in life in general.
Yeah.
You don't have to always look sideways to compare where you are and what you're doing. You do what you need to do to be who you need to be.
Abby?
Mine would probably say get out there, see what's out there. Because if I would have never tried welding, I would have never been given this opportunity like this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never been able to have a career set up for the rest of my life if I wouldn't have been like, okay, let's see what this is. Let's try to get out there and see what this is. I was going to be a trauma surgeon before this.
Okay.
Before I ever took welding, I was going to be a trauma surgeon, and not happening.
But that requires precision too.
And a whole lot of school.
Something in your thready mechanism of makeup there said, I like that fine detail, and there's something about, because trauma surgeons, obviously, so that's pretty cool.
Incredible.
Transitioned from seaming together bodies to seaming together metals.
That's fun. So we're almost up on time. It always happens. It's like 5 minutes ago we started, but one of our keynote, it's not the closing question is always, what are you toasting to in 5 years?
I think the main thing is to just, have gone forward.
Okay.
We're at this point now. In 5 years, all I want is to have kept going. And I said this quietly under my breath a moment ago, but there's only one way forward, and that's through the passage of time.
Yeah.
And I think as long as I've grown a little bit, I would love to grow a lot, but as long as I've grown more than I am now, that's where I want to see myself in 5 years.
I love that. There's a quote out there. As long as I'm a little bit better than I was yesterday, then I grew. I did, And so that's small goals lead to larger goals.
Abby?
Mm-hmm.
I think mine would be keep reaching that goal, probably.
Mhm.
Keep working towards that thing or that house or all that I want for my future family and everything, to just keep going, keep working.
Yeah. Love it. Kylie?
I want to be able to say in 5 years that I'm living to work and I'm not working to live. That
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to enjoy my job every day and have that stability and comfortable workplace and lifestyle with where I'm at right now.
Y'all are inspiring.
I don't know
I
that-
leave today feeling inspired, and I feel the sense to say I'm not worthy. Like, I wish I had been
No kidding.
half as smart as you three are. Your outlook on life, gosh knows, there are so many things, and I never wish to go back and redo, but
I do
just
all
had
the time.
I can't. I wouldn't be who I was, and they won't be who they are if they didn't make the decisions and learn from mistakes and all that kind of stuff. That's going to happen. But you've got to know how impressive you are, because much older than y'all are, and I'm telling you, you are starting off so well, and you are so wise, and that is absolutely should stay on your mind. Is just get the next day. If I can be better than I was the next day, that's a goal. Y'all have all mentioned goals. Golly, y'all are incredible. Incredible.
I don't think they're really 17 and 18. I think they're like 30 years old.
Are they
These
time
are
travelers?
Time travelers or something. No, you guys are extremely impressive. We appreciate you, taking all your courses, having a vision, but giving this honest feedback of what it was like for you. But congratulations to you for all the things you've accomplished already, that you've worked for, that you've earned, and you deserve that respect. And Godspeed to you in the future to have that lifestyle and that growth and all the things you're looking forward to. We work very closely with the Rogers Group, and I'm sure that we'll be getting updates on y'all as you move through the next 6 months, a year. Maybe in a year we bring it back with or 6 months, a Rogers Group follow-up, and because they're one of our biggest partners.
Hey, fun fact, we're filming for Screed Operator today with Rogers Group right now in your city.
Do y'all know what the screed is? I didn't either 6 months ago.
It's
okay. It's the thing when you're paving a road, it's the thing on the back of the paver that actually makes the road surface the shape that it is.
Mm-hmm.
The depth and the shape. It's like it doesn't even look like a thing. It just looks like part of the machine. So you'll see it now.
Yeah.
Look on the back of the paving. Good stuff. So closing thoughts, Brandy?
I think we've asked everything. I'm truly in awe, truly amazed. And I think for anybody out there who thinks that the future is not sitting right here on the screen, they are dead wrong. Absolutely dead wrong. And we are so grateful that y'all have come to tell your story today, and y'all have inspired me. And I am so thankful that I got to experience talking to the three of you today, because you have blessed my day for sure. So, for all of our listeners out there, I know, this was quite an experience, and we've had a lot of podcasts up until this point. I've lost count now, but it's over 50, maybe closing in on 60. I'm not sure. So hear me when I say that this is one of the best, like hearing from that next age group and hearing you say, I will. I did, and watch where I'm going to go next. It's just absolutely incredible. So to all of our listeners out there, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all podcast platforms. Thank you so much.